I know this is a tough question, but let me ask y'all this. How y'all doing today? Hopefully y'all doing good. Hopefully y'all getting better. And hopefully y'all preparing for society. But let me ask y'all something. If y'all job was to fire y'all or lay y'all off tomorrow, what would you do? How would you prepare for life? How would you live? Like, would your lifestyle change? Because the cost of living is just getting more as we speak. And then these tariffs are just coming in. So I just want to see how society is going to react to the changes in life. Because there's a lot of things that we do in our life that we're not prepared for. And I'm going to be honest with you too. I wasn't prepared for things like this to happen in this life because this is just crazy to me. I don't know how life is supposed to be. But in reality, what would you do? How would you live? How would you survive in this economy? What would you do first? Would you just try to find another job? Or you would just be moping around about it because you got to start back from square one? Because you know the cost of living is just getting higher. Or maybe you might have that new house that you just bought. And now you don't know, someday you could lose the house because times are getting rough. So these are the questions that you need to ask yourself. How would you prepare? But in reality, you're not prepared because you just got laid off or fired the next day. So these are the things in life that we never prepare for. So what I'm trying to tell you is that you're always supposed to be prepared. So did you have any money saved up, or you didn't have no money saved up? And most of us, we don't have no money saved up, and that's all right. But in reality, just think about it. Even if you're not about to get laid off or fired tomorrow, this is what you need to do. Always have some backup plans ready because you never know. Because I know it's sad because we got too comfortable working at our jobs. I got comfortable, you got comfortable, everybody's comfortable because we don't ever think that far ahead. So that's why it's like the job tradition is to keep us brainwashed. It's because they only have you prepared for like what's right now. So in reality, we not prepared for what's going to happen in the future because we don't know. Because tomorrow is not promised. So you live every moment like it's your last, but in reality, until the meantime, you got to seize the moment. You got to seize the opportunity, which means you got to start figuring out how to make your money work for you. Because if you don't, you're going to keep getting the same results. Living from paycheck to paycheck. I know. I've been there. But I'm tired of living from paycheck to paycheck. I'm tired of accumulating all this debt. And the debts that you accumulate, you ain't have no choice. It's essential debts. Like, well, if your car break down, you need to fix, you need to get groceries, and then things like that. Because stuff is happening right now. I get that. But what you gonna do in the meantime if something don't go right as planned? Like they always say, have a plan B. They always tell you have a plan B for your dreams or your goals or what you want to do in life, but they don't ever tell you have a plan B if the job fires you. What about that plan B? Why they don't ever say that plan B? Because they don't want you to have a plan B when it comes to somebody else's dreams. So it's like when you be working at that job and you be making everybody else rich instead of focusing on your dreams, that's where you get lost. That's when you get caught up in the tradition. I don't want you guys to keep getting caught up in the tradition because we all was caught up. But I want y'all to think different. So where would you go? Would you still stay United States of America? Or would you go to another country? So if you never had a choice, you don't know what you would do. Because, right, we wait till we cross that bridge till we get there. Why are we always waiting to cross that bridge when we get there? Why can't we just prepare before we get to the bridge? Or always have something stocked up? Now they always tell you like, okay, you're supposed to have money saved up in case a rainy day does happen. That's cool. But even the money that you got saved up when a rainy day happens, say if you lose your job and you got money saved up, right? So now you cool. because you got money saved up. But in reality, for how long though? Because the money that you got saved up is just gonna keep going out because you ain't got none coming in no more because you only have one income and you was saving. So that's why I just be wanting to tell y'all the importance of figure something else out. Even while you working at your job, think about it like you're gonna get fired or laid off tomorrow. That's how you gotta apply yourself. Because if you want something different in life and you want your life to change, that's what you gotta do. Because your life is gonna be boring. Working every day, working from check to check, you can't even put in vacation when you want. You gotta ask for permission. They have the jobs where you put your vacation time in, you gotta wait a whole another year to get vacation time again. Or if you worked a long time at that job, they may give you more time for vacation time, but you gotta work 10 plus years to get a lot of time to get 2-3 months vacation time. So in reality, I just would like to know, how would y'all life be? How would y'all survive? Because those are the things we never think about until we get there. And I know that's a, a different question to answer right now. I know that's an interesting question to answer right now. But just ask yourself something. Would you be homeless? Would you go stay with a relative? Then y'all know how that goes. Some relatives you can't even get along with. So you think they're gonna let you stay with them? Because now you becoming dependent upon them because you don't have a job. And you see how people treat you when you don't have no job or you don't have no money. So these are the things that you have to prepare yourself in life, because these are the things we never cross until we get there. And I just want to see y'all opinion on that. Like, what would y'all do? Because there's a lot of things to do. You're supposed to be preparing for situations like this at all times. You can save some money, but sometimes you got to try to make you some few investments. Start figuring out what works for you, what doesn't, because we don't research nothing. So that's what I'm asking y'all, because it took me a long time to figure life out like this. And I know it took y'all a long time. Some of y'all still don't get it. If y'all still don't get it, it's not for y'all to get it. It's for my people who want to learn. So in reality, I want y'all to just ask yourselves that. Because life is already hard. Then it's getting harder by the second. Nobody told us it was going to be this difficult. But that's why we can't do anything. That's why we can't get the house we want. Because we wasn't prepared. We was caught up on you supposed to work. And then a job that's paying you, they're not paying you that much money for you to get that house. You got to take out a loan. Now the banks want more for interest. When you take out a loan for a house, it may take you 30 years to pay it off. Then if you don't pay it off, they're going to take your house and still sell it anyway. So all that time you did that for is for nothing. So I don't want y'all to live y'all life like that anymore. I want y'all to make some changes in y'all life, because that's something you got to ask yourself. Because even if you work till you 65, then it's time for you to retire. Now your salary is cut in half. What would you do? I just want to know. So would you still manage to live your life like regular, normal, or you just cut down on spending, or you just be struggling to the max and you just won't be able to deal with it? It's just one thing after another. That's why I never asked myself until now. So I know I'm late, but better late than never. But never late is better. But you're not perfect, so you can excuse yourself for being late, because we was always caught up in the moments, caught up in our feelings, because we didn't know. But now you know. And this video that I'm sharing with y'all is to tell y'all got to start preparing. I know it sucks, but it is what it is. You got to take the situation for what it is. That's my favorite saying, because that's what you got to do. And I'm preparing more than I ever thought to prepare, because I didn't know. You didn't know either. But that's how life hits you sometimes. I never thought this could be life for real. This is really life. They never told us about this part. So, if you're working at your job now, it's all good. Just use it as a stepping stone. Just keep doing your research, keep finding your purpose, and just keep living your life, because that's all you can do. But don't get comfortable when you feel like you ain't gotta do nothing. That's why we always get too comfortable. We gotta do overtime. Oh man, I do overtime for a year. That's all I'm gonna do it for. 1 year turned into 2 years. You comfortable doing overtime now. Now you stuck. So stop getting comfortable doing something for somebody else. Get comfortable doing something for you. In reality, there's gonna be a lot of people that want you to be in their life. That's gonna complicate your life. But like I told you in the previous video, don't stop your show for nobody, because ain't nobody gonna stop their show for you. So don't ever try to stop your show for somebody. Your show must goes on, life goes on, but I want y'all to prepare. I don't want y'all to be out here running wild and crazy, because that's what they're gonna have you doing. Because you didn't know. I didn't know either. But I'm always working to get it better. And you gotta be working to get better. Because if you don't, what type of life you're gonna have? You're not gonna have the life that you want, because you're not prepared. That's why our life is all over the place now, mine's and yours. You wasn't prepared. So just ask yourself that question. If your job fired you tomorrow or laid you out tomorrow, would you be mad about it, or you'll be all right? But most of us will probably be like, we'd be in our feelings about it because we didn't prepare for this. Would you be prepared to have things saved up, or you wouldn't be, because your bills was taking all your money? You know what I'm saying? So when you got expenses, that's what happens. And that's all I want to know. But if you've been saving up money, that's good too. But when you save up money, it's just going to go out once you spend it, because you don't got nothing coming in. So even if you prepare for a tough time, like I said previously, your money is going to run out because you weren't prepared for this. So what if the tough time, the rainy day, lasts for a year or two? You don't got enough money to keep you covered for no year or two, just saved up. So you got to think about this. That's why I always say that you just need more than one income. They always say you need 2 incomes to survive. They say that all the time. But you know how they say you need 2 incomes to survive? They don't tell you that you need 2 incomes to survive by you getting 2 incomes or 3. They want you to get a significant other so y'all can help each other pay the bills. You want to be able to get it on your own, because you ain't going to never get no significant other. Nah, I want you to be happy. But that's how most relationships fail, over money. So in reality, I want you to be the person in purpose. You generate the revenue. You call the shots. You make the rules. Because you a man of purpose or a woman of purpose. You ain't worried about you linking up with somebody else to double your income. Now that's cool and all, don't get me wrong. Y'all both got to be helping each other bring something to the table. But what if you didn't have no significant other? What if you were single? I'm just saying, you need to be able to generate revenue 2-3 times if you was by yourself. Because at the end of the day, what you gonna do? And that's all I wanted to know, because these are the things that they don't tell us about. These are things that you have to experience life and figure it out on your own. Because nobody told us that life was gonna be tough. So in reality, that's why I keep seeing a lot of videos, everybody getting laid off. Some people are sleeping in storage rooms now. They feel like it's cheaper than paying rent. And it may be cheaper. To each his own. I ain't gonna judge you. I ain't mad at you. But they was unprepared for that. You see what I'm saying? So before you go out there and be unprepared, because you think your job is secure. I want you to think about that. Is your job really secure? Are you really happy at your job? Or you just there for a paycheck like everybody else? Majority of you are. Let's keep it real. You're just there for a paycheck. You don't like half your workers anyway. And they don't like you. Don't sugarcoat it, no. But I'm just saying. That's what I want y'all to think about. How effective would your life be if they tell you you was fired tomorrow or you laid off? So think about that question before it's too late. And that's all I want to say to y'all. So hopefully you enjoyed this message. And I want to know y'all comments, y'all takes on that situation. Peace. Let me know.